Program progresses this morning. In the meantime, there are some Republicans out there who apparently are not satisfied with the performance of Congressman John Sullivan. And they are trying to draft Dave Rader to run against John Sullivan. Here to talk about it with us this morning is one of the people involved, Josh McFarland. Josh, welcome to the Pat Campbell Show.
Good morning, Pat. Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you on board. Now, Josh, for those who don't know, who are you? How did you get involved in this draft Dave Rader movement?
Well, it's pretty easy for me. I'm a contractor with two little kids, and my hobby is following politics. And draft Dave is not a bunch of polished politician type people. This is a bunch of a group from all walks of life. You know, I'm a contractor. There's doctors involved. There's attorneys. There's just everyday teacher people. There's everybody, all walks of life are there, and all of us have one common goal, and that's to see that we get more leadership at the congressional level.
All right. Now, when I initially heard about this, and again, it started off as rumors and things, but as I saw that there's actually a movement to draft Dave. My first question to you would be, what has Sullivan done wrong? Why are you dissatisfied with John Sullivan? The reality is he's an incumbent, and it's difficult, not impossible, but pretty difficult to beat an incumbent. Why are you dissatisfied with Sullivan? What's he done wrong?
Well, and I get that, and I can speak on my own beliefs on that. Each person has their own different reasons that are involved with the draft Dave for Congress campaign. But, I might not be happy with his TARP bailouts, several votes against free trade, but that's all, here and there. My main goal is that in northeastern Oklahoma, we're represented by some pretty special legislators. We've got Dr. Tom Coburn and, different legislators, Jim Inhofe, and people that support this area and do a good job of shaking things up. Mm-hmm. And when we're looking at true leadership, we feel like we can do better. We need something more. And that's why we took a look at things and said, you know what, let's find a proven leader and let's draft them and see if they'll take this on. And I believe that we've had a lot of success. We've had, probably 50 to 100 people just in the last few days call us and say, hey, how do I get on board?
Mm. And I want to get back because you brought up Coburn here too. If somebody asked me, well, what has Sullivan done wrong? The first thing I would come up with is the first TARP TARP vote. But by the same token, Coburn voted that way too. Are you equally dissatisfied with Senator Coburn?
Well, and no, because Coburn, I believe, has shaken things up. I mean, look at, and this isn't about John Sullivan or Tom Coburn. This is about drafting Dave Rader, a proven leader. And I don't want this to look like we're just anti-John Sullivan. We formed this because we're just ticked off at John Sullivan. This isn't the reason. I mean, we feel like we want true leadership and somebody that'll represent us with the highest of those. I mean, if you're looking at it from that point, and you've got to analyze and say, you know what, has Congressman Sullivan, has he been a true leader? What has he voted that's got into office? That's actually made it through on bill. And you start looking at it, and golly, I might not be the best research guy, but I think there's only one bill that I could find, and it was changing the name of a VA hospital.
When you say you want somebody who can shake things up, how and why, or how, I guess, would Dave Rader shake things up? What do you mean by that? Define that.
Well, we're the most conservative state in the union, so everybody's looking at Oklahoma and saying, whether people in Oklahoma want to believe it or not, people around the country are looking at us saying, what are they doing over there? Well, Jim Inhofe is really pushing with the global warming deal and making some friends and I suppose a lot of enemies. Mm-hmm. And you could go on and talk about each different legislator. Well, I can't think of much that we've gotten into in the first congressional district that's shown us that, well, here's a guy that's not afraid to go after and do his job because he's not afraid of losing his job as well.
For those who don't know, and let's explain who exactly Dave Rader is. He was the quarterback at the University of Tulsa. He played pro ball for a little bit. He's also well known in coaching circles. Tell me about him and why you think he's the right guy for Congress.
Well, and Dave I've known for not as long as I'd like to know. From what I know and have followed his career, he's a proven leader. He goes around and he speaks for Fellowship of Christian Athletes events. He's encouraged a lot of young people to get involved with the process of both politics and, keeping their faith strong. So he is a proven leader, whether, you want to look at his coaching record, whether you want to look at his personal record all around, he is a proven leader. And there's not many people that you can see that have good name ID that also are great proven leaders in the Tulsa area. He's one of them.
Has he ever run for an elected office?
And you know what? Not that I'm aware of, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. Does he want to run for Congress?
He's keeping his options open right now, Pat. We've approached him with numerous people, writing letters, calling him, doing what we can to see, if he will take this on. And from what we know, at this point, he's keeping his options open and says that, if the support's there, he would consider it. And I believe the